2025 $1 million Hambletonian Stakes and the $500,000 Oaks mark the 100th anniversary celebration of this legendary Standardbred Racing Event. It takes place on Saturday, August 2nd at the Meadowlands Racetrack in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It took 1 year of preparation to put together a historic race day full of Super-Star Contenders and the most lucrative Standardbred races of the year. The day's events promises to be a spectacular racing extravaganza.
Oh, hey everybody, it is me, Carson Cressy, and I can't wait to see everybody at the Hambletonian, the Hambletonian Oaks on Saturday. I'll just keep this safe until then.
I'm thrilled to be here with the man that made Muscle Hill, found him, made him, and he's a legend. The horse is a legend. The trainer's a legend. As far as I'm concerned, in the Standardbred industry, you're one of the greatest trainers that's been out there, done a stupendous job. Now, the Hambletonian's coming up and the Oaks, and Muscle Hill is so overrepresented in his progeny. It's crazy. They did a study last year with Secretariat and all the lineage that goes back, and Muscle Hill is just as prolific. So we're talking to the guy. What do you see coming up? We could start with the Oaks real quickly. We've got Miss Belmar's a Muscle Hill, Delaney Hanover, Conversano, and then Champagne Problems through Tactical Landing. But how do you see this shaping up for the fillies?
Well, Delaney Hanover was really good last week. It looked like what happened was they pulled the shoes on her in front, I think, and it worked. And she was really good. And what's nice to see is she's owned by John Colby and Liana Wiseman, and they're people that have been in the business a long time, and it's nice to see them get a shot and have a great shot at it. I would say they'll be the favorites.
What do you see coming in if Delaney Hanover doesn't pull it off? Who do you see next in line? Well,
the Muscle Hill filly of Hot Lead Farm for Juan Cano, that one is good too. Conversano's been really, really good. So this year, like, she's improved dramatically, so you'd have to throw her in there as well. But
shift over now to the Hambo itself, which is more the premier. How do you see that shaping up? We've got Marcus Melander has 4 horses out of the 10 in the finals.
Yeah, and they've really done a terrific job since, they're young guys. They set up a few years ago. They've done nothing but grow, and I've been there, and they really have a great outfit. Ironically, they have, 2 of the favorites, one being Super Chapter and the other one being Maryland will be driven by Dexter Dunn. So he's obviously chose Dexter. Dexter has chose Maryland, so that's a big thing. But then you get Yannick Gingras on Super Chapter, and Yannick, he's always been a great driver. I can remember when he came here in his early years, and he was great from day one, and he won the Hambletonian last year, so I could see him doing 2 in a row.
Wow, that's unexpected, because Super Chapter has been the super horse. I felt that Dexter Dunn would probably sit with him, but he's got his reasons.
Well, kind of everybody did that they thought that he would go with Super Chapter. The only thing is that Maryland is maybe the fact that he seems to be getting better every week. But the thing is, I said to Jeff Snyder, one of the owners of Super Chapter, last night on the phone, he's never really done anything wrong, especially this year.
Let's talk about Super Chap. Is he the perfect trotter so far? You used the word perfect the other night in the winner's circle. 5 for 5, you see.
Yeah, he's a great horse. He goes around the inside track, and he's totally popular.
Unbelievable. Do you think he has the edge? Does he have a bit more left in the tank, or does he have more in the tank?
He takes his head to do his race every time. It's some races he's been doing on the front, because the Bali Cell, but then it's great calm, buddy. He's a very consistent forward, and he will get the outside.
Maryland is champion, a millionaire, a Dan Patch Award winner. Hasn't won this year. Is that going to hurt the horse? Or it doesn't seem that it's hurting his attitude. He just keeps coming to the wire.
Yeah, he keeps coming every week. I feel bad for the horse that, Saturday there, he brings his eyeballs out and he's needing it up for the way. But, he's a fire, and we draw good. So, Bill.
Marcus, you've been second 3 times. You're knocking on the door. You got 4 in the final. 2 real good ones.
What would it mean to finally kick that door in? That would be amazing, you know, but, you know, if we can get it done this year, we'll try again next year.
The other one that looked good, but he wasn't quite as good in the elimination, was Go Dog Go, who saddled with the 10 hole. So that hurts. But he was really, really impressive in his early starts. He won in 50 apiece, and he beat Maryland easily. So maybe he just didn't have as good a week last week. I don't know.
And I understand they're going to have Muscle Hill at the Hambo itself, I think between 10 and 2 that day.
He's the greatest as far as I'm concerned, and most people are concerned. And I notice, as great as as Chapter 7 is, Muscle Hill's still way ahead on the millionaires list. Maryland was expensive. Super Chapter was, they're both expensive yearlings. At one time, you'd stroke them right off. You'd say, if they're high priced, they won't be. And he goes, that's not the case anymore. And I think what's happened is the Super Chapters, the Muscle Hills, the Tactical Landings, and the Wallners of the business, you have really made better horses. I think it's kind of like anything. They've just gotten better.
Cream always rises to the top, and the best will survive, and the others are going to fall by the wayside, as they say.
But you never know, though. It's still a horse race. That's the thing. You know, as I say, there are several in there that, you know, that have a chance. But it kind of looks like the other thing is the two favors of the Melanders drew 2 and 4. Plus, they have another one who finished second, and it was really good. And as I say, that it's going to be a really good race.
You know, the horse that you found and created has been such a super sire, and I think over the years that reputation is only going to grow.
Well, thank you for saying that, Doc.
We're here with legendary Billy O'Donnell, the one of the best drivers in the history of the sport, both pacers, trotters, and the Hambletonians coming up. He won the Hambletonian 1985 with Praxis, and he also won the pace. We've discussed this before, Annihilator in '85, same year. You know, it's amazing. I'm looking first at the Oaks, which doesn't get the same top billing as the Hambo itself, but such an influx of Muscle Hill breeding. It's crazy how strong this horse has been in the breeding shed. Do you have any particular favorites that you're looking at that you want to talk about?
No, I think it's kind of wide open. It's a good bunch of fillies. I mean, both the Hambletonian and the Oaks, right? You get any one of those fillies, you get a trip, and they're, you know, having a good day. I mean, they can all win.
On the Oaks, we've got Miss Belmar, we've got Delaney Hanover, Conversano, and then depending where you go from there, it could be Champagne Problems, etc., and Deja Blue. But like you said, depending on the trip they get and how things unfold and no one gets in trouble, it could be a very, very competitive race.
Of all the winners and losers, I think Delaney Hanover probably finished up the freshest, you know, in 7 days. It's in this heat, and the recovery time, you know, is short anyway, 7 days for any kind of horse. But with her, it looked like she was pretty fresh.
Now we're going on to the Hambletonian itself, which is this super performance of the day.
Right.
We've got Marcus Melander is in there with 4 out of the 10 horses. It's incredible.
There's only one American driver in the Hambletonian this year.
Dexter Dunn chose to take Maryland over Super Chapter.
I've been kind of in those situations like that, and for me, there's more than just driving a horse in the Hambletonian at that point, right? There's a whole lot of other things involved here, and you hope that Maryland is better, and he was much better, I thought, in his last start than he had been in his first 2.
Does that also affect the horse? Do you think the horse builds up some strength and encouragement from a big win?
Oh yeah, for sure. Courage. Oh yeah, for sure. They think they can beat anybody at that point, right?
I'm welcoming John Campbell, one of the most storied drivers in the history of the sport, now working for the Hambletonian Society. The most amazing part of the year is the Hambletonians coming up, and the Oaks also this coming weekend.
Well, I think we have 2 really good races, competitive races, good horses in both of them, but no overwhelming favorite in either one. And
so that gives the gamblers a chance to make some money and to spread their odds out. It's interesting. I'm going to start with the Oaks first. Muscle Hill is so overrepresented with the breeding. It's incredible. And it's kind of nice. He'll be there this weekend. I compare him in the thoroughbred world to Secretariat.
you know, he's certainly one of the greatest horses of all time, and there's many people say that he is the greatest horse of all time. That's always subjective, but his impact on the breeds since he became a stallion and went to stud is just immeasurable. As you said, his sons and daughters are still performing at the highest levels on the track. And, you know, this is going to go on for a long time because he is a broodmare sire as well. And so his impact both on the track and since he left the track is just almost immeasurable for our breed.
Do you have any standouts for the Oaks? I mean, I've got what I consider to be the top 3 or 4 that look like they got the best shot.
I think it's going to be fair game for all. I think, obviously, I'm a big believer in horses that win eliminations are the bigger factors going into finals. I've always believed that, even when I was a driver. So if you look at Miss Belmar, Delaney Hanover, and Conversino, you know, those are 3 winners.
Now, switching over to the Hambo itself, that's always gets a little more of a top billing for the guys. How do you see that shaping up? I heard that Dexter Dunn just chose Maryland.
Yes, I heard that. I'm not surprised at that. He's been with him since the beginning. So, and when he drew the 4-hole, I kind of thought he would lean that way. I'm sure a tough choice for him, but a great position for a driver to be in, to have 2 horses like that to choose from. I think Maryland is going to race extremely well. He hasn't won a race yet this year, but he's raced well every time. To me, he's getting stronger. I think for the race last week will make him even better this week. So he's going to be heard from in the race. But having said that, when you look at what Emoticon Legacy, Super Chapter have done so far this year, and then certainly Nordic Catcher surprised a lot of people, just not only that he won, but the way he did it. And he cannot be dismissed. And then Go Dog Go didn't go his best race of the year last year, but he has been superb up until that point. And it isn't like he raced poorly. He just wasn't quite as good as he had been in previous races.
You know, we're sold out inside, and the grandstand, or the grandstand is actually free this year. So it should be a great day of racing, and we're super excited. We've been man of the Hambletonian Society for well over a year on this 100th Hambletonian.
All right, John, thanks a lot. And congratulations on just getting the Hambletonian here to the 100th Hambletonian. And enjoy your day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, John Kell, the great Hall of Fame.
We're here with Jimmy Takter, one of the best trainers in the history of the sport. What do you see about this Hambletonian and the Oaks coming up this coming weekend?
I think it's a really interesting card. I mean, the colt division is, you know, it's really interesting. I mean, it's quite a few good horses in there. And I mean, the way you look like, I think it's going to be Melanders that's had the 2 top horses going into this race. And, you know, Maryland was lucky he got the post 4 here going into it. And the way he come the last couple of starts, I think he's going to be a really contender there. And Super Chapter been super all year. Lucas Wallin had a horse that was a really top horse last year, and it looks like he came back to really good in his LM and got the post 5, and I think he's going to be a catcher there.
In your note there on Facebook that you're going to hear from this horse, and we have.
Yeah, it took a little longer than we wanted, but look like it's there now.
5 or 6 starts about the ballpark when you want to race in the Hambletonian. He's only making his third start of the season. Would you like to have? Do you wish you had one more? You might be seeing dollar signs because you know your driver is right. The money man, right? 3-time Hambletonian winner.
Yeah,
right.
Thank you very much.
All right, Lucas Waldman, nice to see you.
Akis wants to have his horse Nordic Dante Ace. He raced tremendous in his elimination, and he's going to be a factor. Unfortunately, Go Dog Go, you got the 10 post, and he's been doing well. But it's going to be a lot of flow and a lot of action in this race, and the Hambletonian, everything can happen.